Hello, how are you doing? We are doing a dungeon in 14 Final Fantasy. It's my first time. I just unlocked the item level today, and I am somewhat ready. My dragon's probably a little rusty, but we'll be boss is kicking my ass, dude. Nice. All my teammates are gone already. Cool. Okay. I died a bunch in the previous fight, but I think I did okay on the final boss fight.
For all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Vali Armanda.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that facility. The Tural Vidral explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject. Though I expect Zoralja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the creature.
And so, in order to prevent the breakdown of the individual, I instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast. This would allow one to wield the power of Tural Vidral. In theory, our initial experiments will involve lesser creatures. But in time, I am confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control. And what becomes of those who offer their souls? As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost. But the sacrifice will be worthwhile, for the army you stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers. Very well. Recruit volunteers and begin at once. Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
So, you've given him permission?
Teshalja, you will assist Kaniloka. As one of the Land's Guard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiments. You will also watch him closely. In what you learn, you will report to me. You object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
No, Your Majesty. Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power. But with no one to rely upon, we must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are questionable. I will do as you command. But if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Tuliyollal. That I believed would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So very, very close.
Perform your duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire is yours. That which I seek does not lie within this dome. Here, I cannot prove the miracle. But if what you seek is at hand, then you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
Are you all right?
Teishelja. Could she be my mother?
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in the Yasulani. I can't imagine many other Ubiko women were trapped in the dome. That being the case, she could well be the one.
This observatory Kanaloka returned to, could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Teishelja there.
That's where we're going next then.
Okay. Now that the danger is behind us, it's started sinking in just how unsettling this place is. Hard to believe it used to be a village. That you should be able to peer into the Turo Vidriel's past. I wonder what that implies for the beast's consciousness while it was sealed away. It seems like Kanoloka was in charge here. From your recounting, he was quite dedicated to Zoro Ja. The villagers were likely monitoring the imprisoned Turo Vidriel at Zoro Ja's behest, and at some point they became involved in the research of souls. Teishelja, you said her name was? I wonder what her story is. I wish I could see into the past like you. Then I could see people who are gone. Because there ain't any other mammal jaw woman here. For a long time I couldn't even imagine what my mother looked like. But when I visited Toliolo and saw some, I was finally able to picture her in my mind. One day I hope I can see what she actually looked like as well. Is it alright if I go around by myself now? Teshalja, you said her name was. I wonder what her story is. Oh, okay. While we discern the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let us take a look around for information as well as a way to the upper level. Oh, dude. I have a little sister. To think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. Success was far from guaranteed, and even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to Zorolja so absolute? It won't open, and I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find a key. The lift can be seen behind the rock iron gate. As sturdy as it appears, the gate will likely resist attempts to force it open. A security panel is nearby. Perhaps a verification key will open the way. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave, or did we already meet them? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. There's a pause button on board, so... Yay. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave, or did we already meet them? The general lies next to the body. I was transferred to Uragawata Station in order to train the villagers in the use of electro technology. While a child can quickly learn to operate common contractions, it would be no easy thing for them to attain the requisite skill to develop new weapons, ones which require no less than the manipulation of souls. Thankfully, two of my pupils have demonstrated great aptitude in the field. Kanakoka, the village chief, and Tishalja, a field surgeon. Further driven by their loyalty to our king, their growth has been remarkable. I dare to hope that before long they will be able to carry out their duties without further instruction, and I may be relieved of my duty. You find nothing that resembles a verification key. Perhaps you should search elsewhere. I wonder what Beck Lug would make of this research into transferred souls. I feel like I might have read that already. The researchers likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key among their belongings. It makes me angry to think about what they did here. They're recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they won't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Can I write good? Yes, I am good. Very good. Getting hard to control strength today. Bit of offhand of feeder. Cannot help it. So strong. Hungry, always hungry, cannot control eat. I must eat. I am eater, must eat. You find nothing that resembles a verification key. Supplies for the staff are neatly arranged within the cabinet. Amongst the various items is a manual outlining regulations and tranquilizing gas to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find a verification key. Perhaps it can be used to open the iron gate. You found the key. Great, I'll call the others. It seems the key can only be used to operate this lift as well. Up we go. Still, this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the temple that held Valgamarva. All the machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's future. Most likely, for a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Gulaja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Shell taught me how. There's so much data, I don't know what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by encoding the name Teshalaja. It brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Teshalaja, administrator of experimental treatments, research logs. This sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are the data is encrypted, and even if not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take with us the back room and have Shell analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer to the storage device I brought. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was my fruitful adventure for the both of us. It seems safe to say my brother returned to Wada for the Turo Vidriel. He wanted his power no matter the cost. I'm glad we could find what we saw in that abandoned facility. Pilouis is really good at driving the hover cargo. I wonder if I can learn how to drive it too. I'll not soon forget our visit to that facility. It was a troubling reminder of the depravity that can arise from the belief that souls are simply a resource to be exploited. I admit the Tyrol Vidriel gave me a fright at first, but then I remembered who felled the mighty built Armada. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shell. You heading to the back room? It was Shell who gave me the storage device before we left. She said that we'd probably need it, and we did. Gulabja had no trouble keeping up during the outing. He really is his father's son. Having now spent time in these harsh environments, I feel I have a better understanding of how much of a steadying presence Fiend was to her people. You found information on Gulabja's mother. Yuvlat never ceased to amaze. From what I can see, things haven't changed much since the funeral. People are still listless like before. I've been thinking it may behoove us to learn how to use the various devices found throughout Alexandria. Better late than never, after all. The data will be in good hands with Shell. Welcome back. Gulabja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, and all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alexander, I might take ourselves around the city and check up on the people. Their mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I finish my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. I share our friend's concern. It's not surprising that the Alexandrians are having difficulty coping with their grief, but still. Decrypting files isn't the hard part, it's when the number of digits in a password is unknown that the long nights begin. I'll stay here with Shell. There's a lot I can learn just from watching her. Smart kid. I suspect the Alexandrians' plight reminds Alpha Node and Alizé of the Garleans. Little wonder they feel compelled to assist in any way they can. I met some members of Oblivion on my way back here. They themselves were returning after having paid their respects to Sphene. Alizé isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the Terrell remember a time before they were dependent on the Sol system, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason, too. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who have been leaving for Tural, ones with no elders to care for. Word of that pogrom has reached us in Tororial. My brother is doing all he can to see that Yaxteral Railroad restored to operation. So that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard. Some traveling by foot will still be necessary. Even so, the railroad would make things a sight easier. How long before it's back in service? I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Koana seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shell's working on the data, we could go on and see the state of it for ourselves. to Shanaloni Station, then I'll make sure to keep Koana informed. Let us know if there's good news concerning the railroad. We can decimate it through our network and hopefully put some kind of mind at ease. Dissimulate it through our network. I would be astonished if they were able to restore railroad service so quickly. The locomotive was nigh obliterated in its collision with the dome. Oh yeah. Raha and I will keep an eye on things here in your absence. Say hello to Koana for me. You'll have plenty of time while I work on this. Trust me. I see. I filled Koana and he asked that we continue to support the Alexandrians as best we can. Operations are still suspended, but we're trying to remain optimistic. It's good to see you looking well yourselves. Vow of resolve and Yosan to boot. What can I do for you? We're hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Terrell that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Vow of Reason is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. Ah, catch thee on his way. I'm not calling him a bun, that's fucked up. Looks good, Arendelle. Looking good, Arendelle. Yeah. As the guild ship has officially approved my transition from gleaner to independent contractor, I was in need of a more befitting attire. You're here about the railroad too? It was in part for my sake that the original Dawn Blazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamatil has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station, in a matter of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawn Blazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations. But now we're back to our original problem: how to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Mewitsoan. That is the wrong reef, though the Hetsuro that follow them are none too pleased about their Hetso being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I've devised to quiet and the railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Ronreek will need to be reared from wandering across the tracks. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them or they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. Weren't the railroads plotted to avoid the Ronreek's preferred grazing areas, though? It's odd that they're getting so close in the first place. The Ronreek's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I am not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Lynn Watson for their insight. As a mayor or proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in the matter, and I too would hear what the hetero have to say about it. They are the ones who most affected after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Hawatso. The rest of you can accompany us to the historical encampment if you like. It's only recently. For now, we'll continue to work on the silent locomotive as planned. Here's hoping that whatever you come up with won't require a total overhaul. Let's go on a vow of reason, is it not? I can scarce believe it. As committed as the Star are to tradition, they are amenable to the unfamiliar, or so I am told. To think all this can be packed up at a moment's notice to follow wherever the wrong rights lead. Our prior visit to Estara was also on the railroad business. Pray they do not take us for train enthusiasts. That's big deal. That's gone of our reason is not. I can scarce believe. I feel like I have. Okay. Vow of resolve, vow of reason. I bid you welcome to our camp, but what brings you all the way to Melwood? So, I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of the Axteral Railroad. You too have noted the Ronreek's unexpected change in behavior then. My son, Shepeto, has been looking into this matter. Shepeto? Normally, we'd expect the Runrig to keep to their favored grounds nearby for a while yet, and despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing in Iriaman and Yawatane. Yet they refuse to keep to where they usually would, instead pushing westward toward your railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hestaro would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of Hestaro descent. My parents traveled with the Ronrik as well. though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration, one of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. A chance encounter with kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stall keeper in Toliel's markets, and that is where the Don servant found and adopted me. I had already been in the palace some time when Matil came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Truly, I have never heard of the Ronrig choosing a path so audacious as to force such a terrible decision, nor of any Hestar willing to leave their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstance. I cannot say. The idea of following in their footsteps that I might better make excuse for their actions never much appealed to me. Even if it might help you better understand the Ronrig's current behavior. Ah, is so often the case, you are correct. Extra water. Though my discomfort with this sorrow may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind forever for innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor Don servant indeed. Please teach me of the Iron Reek and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. We would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. Will you learn of historical culture with me? I should like to approach this with the fervent curiosity that you and my sister share, but it would be useful to know whether I are doing it correctly. Then it's settled. You'll learn more of the Ronrik and we'll have to look around the plains, and perhaps in the process we'll find the answers we seek. It will be a joy to share our traditions with the new Dawn servants, as we once did with Guljaja. My knowledge of the culture I was born into is from written accounts alone, and few of them at that. Huh. It is the hour mark. I'm gonna call it here. Thank you for watching, and I will continue this in another video. Peace.